Rohingya Muslims are fleeing to Bangladesh because of a military crackdown in western Myanmar, according to residents and BGP officials. Some of the Rohingya were shot as they tried to cross the Naf River that separates Myanmar and Bangladesh, while others arriving by boat were pushed away by Bangladeshi border guards. The bloodshed is the most serious since hundreds were killed in communal clashes in the western Myanmar state of Rakhine in 2012. Myanmar soldiers have poured into the area along Myanmar's frontier with Bangladesh, responding to coordinated attacks on 3 border posts on October 9th that killed 9 police officers. They have locked down the district where the vast majority of residents are Rohingya, shutting out aid workers and independent observers. The army has intensified its operation. Hundreds of people reported killed. Bangladesh shares with Myanmar a 272 kilometers border that falls in Bandarbon and Cox's Bazar. Of this, a 52-kilometer stretch is in the Naf River. Director General of Border Guard Bangladesh, Major General Abul Hossain, admit that the wave of Rohingyas to Bangladesh could not be controlled at the border area through Ukia and Tektaf Point. The BGP chief made an emergency visit there to observe the recent situation. The BGP chief said even the BGP, police and local administration have stepped up vigilance along the border. The infiltration of Rohingyas into Cox's Bazar district continues with ample help from middlemen. A long remote area of Bangladesh-Myanmar border is insecure for a long time. The Rohingyas are entering with those points illegally by the help of local middlemen. The BGP personnel pushed back quite a number of Rohingya Muslims, including women and children, who are attempted to enter Bangladesh through Ukia and Teknaf borders, fleeing army persecution in Rakhine state of Myanmar.
On last 2 months, around 20,000 Rohingya took shelter at the refugee camp entering to Bangladesh through Ukia and Teknaf. The BGP pushed back about 2,000 Rohingya to their country of origin.
Meanwhile, United Nations officials have said Myanmar is carrying out ethnic cleansing of Rohingya Muslims as strong stories of gang rape, torture and murder emerge from among the thousands who have fled to Bangladesh. John McKissick, head of the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR, said that troops were killing men, shooting them, slaughtering children, raping women, burning and looting houses, forcing these people to cross the river into Bangladesh. Earlier this month, up to 30,000 members of the community have abandoned their homes to escape the unfolding violence, the UN said. McKissick explained that it's very difficult for the Bangladeshi government to say the border is open because this would further encourage the government of Myanmar to continue the atrocities and push them out until they have achieved their ultimate goal of ethnic cleansing of the Muslim minority in Myanmar. President Abdul Hamid emphasized on concerted efforts of the global community in mitigating the impacts of climate change, mentioning it as a dangerous threat to mankind. The president made the remark while addressing the inaugural ceremony of the South Asia Judicial Conference on Environment and Climate Change at Radisson Blu Dhaka Water Garden Hotel in the capital. The program was jointly organized by the Supreme Court of Bangladesh and Asian Development Bank. He said the exclusive environmental courts and the utilization of constitutional remedies through the initiation of public interest environment litigation in the apex court are playing a very important role in protecting the country's environment.
Climate change is a global phenomenon. A single country or a region could not be able to address the burning issue. Therefore, it needs concerted and united effort from global community in mitigating and combating the impacts of climate change.
Power, Energy and Natural Resources Minister Nasrul Hamid urged all to create awareness to proper use of electricity and fuel. He said it will be difficult for the country if everybody should not be aware on the use of natural resources. He made the remark while inaugurating 5th National Electricity and Fuel Campaign 2016 at Electricity Building this morning. He said it will be a challenge for the government to create awareness on the proper use of electricity. He said to face the challenge, the ministry will work with the volunteers of Scouts. He also said that 3,000 families in the country will be provided solar power electricity facilities. BNP today urged law enforcers to recover illegal arms before Naranganj City Corporation NCC election scheduled to be held on December 22nd. The party also urged law enforcers to force licensed arms holders for submitting their firearms to local police stations before the election. BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi came up with the demand while briefing journalists at the party's Noapaulton Central Office in Dhaka today. Rizvi added BNP strongly demand deployment of army for the sake of a transparent and credible election in Naranganj. The people of Naranganj will cast their votes for the candidate of their choice, not for any godfather, if a congenial atmosphere is ensured, he said, adding, so army deployment is necessary to maintain law and order there. Advocate Sultana Kamal, chairperson of Amrai Pari Poribarik Nirjaton Protirod Jot, demanded to cancel the draft of Children Marriage Act, keeping the marriage age for girls at 18 years. The act that passed at the Cabinet on marriage of women at the age of below 18 is contradicting the Women Repression Ordinance. It will not reduce women repression, rather encourage it. We demand cancellation of this farcical act. A 3-week drive to update the voter list has begun. The countrywide drive aims to register citizens born before or on January 1st, 1999. The work will continue door to door. A person will have to come to 1999. The work will continue until December 15th. Many eligible voters could not enlist when the voter list was updated last year, said Election Commission's official. However, this time volunteers will not go door to door. A person will have to come to the election office and register. During the campaign, existing voters can also update their registered location. The draft of the updated list will be published on January 2nd, she said. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. A suicide truck bomb death toll rises to 100, most of them Iranian Shia pilgrims, at a petrol station in the city of Hila, 100 kilometers, which is 62 miles south of Baghdad on Thursday, police and medical sources said. Islamic State, the ultra-hardline Sunni militant group that considered all Shias to be apostates, claimed responsibility of the attack in an online statement. The group also is fighting of a US-backed offensive in its stronghold Mosul in northern Iraq, in which Iranian-trained Shia militias are taking part. The pilgrims were en route back to Iran from the Iraqi Shia holy city of Karbala, where they had commemorated Arbaeen, the 40th day of mourning for the killing of Imam Hussein, the medical sources said. The gas station has a restaurant on its premises that is popular with travelers are expected to rise. The crash occurred at the Haft Khan station in the city of Shahrud, about 400 kilometers east of Tehran. The accident happened when a passenger train in motion crashed to another one that had stopped at the station. A local official said that the remote location of the train station had slowed down rescue efforts. So far, only one helicopter has reached the scene because of access difficulties, said local head of the Red Crescent, Hassan Shokrolahi. Iranian media gave contradictory reports on the death toll and number of injured passengers in the crash. State television showed footage of 4 derailed carriages, with 2 of them on fire. Police took 13 people into custody as the death toll in the collapse of a platform under construction at a power plant in eastern China rose to 74. बादल उठते दिखाई दे रहे हैं आग लगी हुई है 2 मुसाफिर ट्रेनें हैं जो कि आपस में Police took 13 people into custody as the death toll in the collapse of a platform under construction at a power plant in eastern China rose to 74, with 2 others injured, state media said on Friday. State news agency Xinhua said 68 of the 74 dead have been identified so far, with victims ranging with 2 others injured, state media said on Friday. State news agency Xinhua said 68 of the 74 dead have been identified so far, with victims ranging in the age from 23 to 53. The accident happened on Thursday morning in Fengcheng in Jiangxi province during work on a cooling tower for the coal-fired power plant. The accident happened when a tower have been fleeing wildfires in the northern city of Haifa, with the Prime Minister warning that any proof of arson would be treated as terrorism. Firefighters were working to douse the flames, but some homes in the worst affected area, dry conditions after a 2-month drought, in addition to strong winds, have fueled the fires, which have also spread to the other parts of the country. Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday said that anyone who may have started fires deliberately would be punished. America.